Alright, in this video we're going to learn how to snorkel our clutch on the Polaris Sportsman 850. This is 2019. I have already gotten water in the back clutch because the exhaust comes right here. So anytime you kind of go in a little bit of deep water and you sink the back end, that will fill up with water. Or if you decide to back out of a puddle because you decide it's too deep, you're going to shove water right in there and it's going to get right in the clutch. So I saw a video of how to do it and the kit was about 300 bucks. So I figured I'd show you. I already ordered everything I think I'm going to need. It's going to be about 100 bucks. So we're going to do it. That's going to be the hose we're going to use. We're not going to need it all. That's the only way it comes. And then to do this, you're going to have to take off this top plastic piece here, which has 3 plastic push-ins. Take that off. Then you're going to have plastic push-in right here. And you're going to have another plastic push-in up here. Take that off, and that's the only thing that holds this side piece. Push it out of the back, and then the only thing that's going to be holding is this little clip pushed in there. And you'll be able to pop that out easy. Now, when you take that off, you're going to see this piece is going to be in there somehow. I can't really remember how it goes. But this is the piece that goes here, and the inlet comes out around here. And then you're going to have to disconnect the back part. Here's where the exhaust goes to that piece I showed you in the back. I just decided to cut it off at the front so I could be able to run the new duct, but it really is not that hard to take this top plastic off, and you'll be able to take that factory duct out. It's just the way it bends between the plastics and stuff like that. It won't come out forward and it won't come out backwards. And I just took that off yesterday because I'm out of the center light and I just really didn't want to mess with it again. So I decided just to cut it, and honestly probably spent more time cutting it than if I would have just taken it off. But so pretty much in here we're gonna put a piece of 3-inch aluminum just so we could go to a reducer coupling. That's gonna be a 3-to-2, and then the same thing here, a 3-to-2 coupling. And then we're gonna go to that hose, and the hose is gonna run, it's gonna be a pretty tight fit. It's gonna run in this area. Then we're gonna have to move all these wires around to get those hoses to go through there. It's gonna come up under here, so we'll probably have to take that black cover off so we can see better. And then run up right here, and then we'll dead end them somewhere in this area here. That will get us this much higher than in the back of the bike. So it's about 1 foot higher. And also, if you ever get in deep water, you can pop the front up, keep the front high, and keep your clutch dry. So this is the hose I decided to use. I got it on Lowe's. I think the whole thing was about 40 bucks. And what's nice about these ends is they seem like they're fixed on there, because I know the swivel ones, I know people were complaining about it. So I'm gonna seal RTV around here and then also tape around it to have kind of a double seal. And then I ordered the couplings, which are going to be here in a couple days. So we'll start running the hose and then we'll wait for the couplings. These are the clips that hold all the panels together. You can see here it's popped out, and when you push it in, it squeezes it apart. The easiest way I found to open these up is to get a small pair of side cutters, and you kind of wedge the side cutters where the screwdriver would go and kind of squeeze, and the angle in here kind of lifts it up. Then once you get that, just pop it up. And that's usually the easiest way. I found that to be easier than using the screwdriver. So here where the 2 hoses are gonna have to run through, you can see you got all the vents for the transmission and differentials. And you also have the starter wire here. And it's kind of, I would say, like a 10 o'clock position. So we're gonna loosen the nut behind it and push that back 11 or 12 o'clock position, so we get a little bit more space in there. We're gonna have to cut some of these tie wraps off and see how we can massage all this wiring out of the way so we can run our ducts through there. All right, so there you can see how much room moving that starter wire gave us. It's at the 12 o'clock position now. What I did was unplug the starter solenoid wire, which is right there. Be sure to try to cover that with something. I use this little piece here. It's to finish a terminal. To cover that or disconnect the battery, because as you're loosening or tightening it, that wrench has 12 volts on it. So if you hit that starter solenoid terminal there, it will turn the starter on, and it will probably scare the crap out of you. So starting to cut some tie wraps. I got these wiring harnesses loose and the hoses loose, trying to get everything shifted over so we can start running the hose. Quick tip, don't forget to put that starter wire back on, because I did. Want to go move it? Nothing happened. Had to take all the hose back out, put it back on. Alright, so we got one duct run. That's going to go to the back. It's already where it needs to be. We're going to have to cut the nub off the narrow part off the white part. We're just going to use that thicker part there. But you can see now there's space to run that one hose. We got it down coming up through here. Now we're going to have to run it up to the top. But right here, this piece of plastic is kind of in the way, so we're gonna trim out some of it, and then once you put the plastic, you'll never tell it that's not there, because the side plastic comes to here. All right, you can see both our ducts are run. It is pretty tight right in this area here, and I was trying to get it where you won't see it at all once the plastics are on, but you will see a little bit right there in that window. But we're gonna cut up to here on these. What I like about these are fixed, they don't swivel. I imagine the swivel ones you can buy on Amazon pretty much work the same way, because you're just gonna use the part that's glued onto the tube, and you just cut the swivel end off of it. What I like about these is they're fixed, and I'm gonna silicone in front of it, behind it, and then I'll also tape from here to here to make sure it's sealed. And you can see I'm running up through here, up through the top there. And right now I just got them pretty long, because I got plenty of hose. But I mean, with one thing, you probably do 2 bikes. So it's about $100 to do one, but then it will really only be about $40 to do another one. So, and then the exhaust one, I'll leave it running back, and the intake one, I'll run up right to the front. So the other good thing about this mod here is we're going to be getting some cooler air, because before it was sucking air from the back of the motor, which is already hot. So hopefully this will keep our clutch cooler too. If you guys don't have one of these that's battery powered, I would highly recommend it. This is the best. Alright, so I got some Flex Seal here from an old project. We're gonna seal the inside, the outside. Then we're gonna use 2-inch vinyl tape to tape from here to here. Make sure we get a good seal. And on top of that vinyl, because I hate when it gets that sticky residue on it, we're gonna use this electrical tape. It's off Amazon. It's like a nice fabric, and there's no stickiness. It just sticks to itself really good. And then we're gonna go over that with this, and it's gonna look better, and it won't start unpeeling. I really like this can. It's like, I don't know, the easy cheese you put on Ritz crackers. I think I went a little bit overboard. Just trying to fill the ridges of the hose. And I've seen some videos of people saying to do this afterwards and stuff like that, because it depends how you push this, depends on how the seal is. But I want to see somebody cock that 360 degrees in there. Alright, let's get our tape. You're going to want to keep that electrical tape nice and tight to get it to go in those grooves and seal. Alright, so there we are. It's nice and tight around all the grooves. Only thing that came out kind of loose was that last layer there a little bit. And now I'm going to use this tape probably up to here. That way my coupler could grab on, so the vinyl will be fine. And there it is. Once we put that coupler on, we won't see any of this, and it all looks pretty good. Alright, so here are the parts that came in. This was 6 inches. I already cut it and put it in the bike. I'll show you now. But this was a 6-inch by 3-inch aluminum piece. And like I said, if you do another bike, you have there to do another bike, or maybe in 2 more bikes. And then all you would need to do is buy these for the second and third bike. These are the 3-inch to 2-inch silicone couplings. I'll include a link down below, so you can order the parts on Amazon, and then you're going to need some hose clamps. And you can see back there, I already put that piece of aluminum in there, and that aluminum is just to unite a rubber to rubber pretty much. And you can see, put that hose clamp facing up so you can get it with the screwdriver. So now I'm going to put the silicone couplers back there, plug them in, see if it works. That's that piece. Alright, that's attached good. Probably put a tie wrap here to hold this here so it won't bounce so much. I'll show you from the top what it looks like. So there it is. And the other thing I recommend is get your hose clamps close to the sides before you go in there. That way you're not in there super uncomfortable trying to tighten all the slack. And to get the aluminum into that stock elbow there, it is a little bit smaller than 3 inches, so you're gonna have to stretch it just a hair. So you can spray like some silicone spray in there, and it will help get that piece in there, because your hands really don't fit that great in here and in there at the same time. So alright, now we're gonna put this one on. Alright, so we push this one out of the way a little bit. You can see where the coupling is gonna go to this piece here. Alright, so this coupling's also a little bit of a stretch, so you're gonna wanna spray a little bit of silicone spray in there to help it go on there. Because again, there's another place where your hands really just don't fit that great. Make sure it's in there evenly. The hose clamp on. Give it a tug, make sure it's not going to come off. Put your second hose clamp on. And the other nice thing about leaving that tip white, that last like ½ inch or so, is it allows you to make sure that you're in deep enough. You don't want to go too crazy tight in it, just plastic. And there it is. This port's also a little bit ovaled as well. So we're gonna pop this hose back in there. Probably put another tie wrap up here to hold the hose up there. And then we'll start putting the body panels back on. Alright, so we're gonna try to get the cover down here on. Let's
pushing a little bit, but it looks like it's going to go without any trimming. So the only one that looks like it's going to give us a little bit of issues is this one here, because that is still where the hose is right behind here and it's still pushing it out a little bit. And if I force it in, it's still not going. So I'm just going to leave this one out. We're being held up there with that top one. We're being held over there. And we got the one in the bottom. So that ain't going nowhere. Let's see about getting the side plastic on. Alright, so first you're going to have to put this little tab in. Alright. So that's going to go without any cutting also. And we are done. So pretty much the only thing you see is a little piece of hose right there. You're going to see a little piece of hose here, and you can see I tie wrapped it there through those holes to hold it so now it doesn't bounce around. And then even up here, you really don't see anything unless you look in there or in there. And there you got the exhaust and the intake in the front. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys can save some money doing it this way.